Hello gamers! Welcome back to another episode of Mario Kart Wii. In the last episode, we beat the 50cc Special Cup, and in this episode, we'll take on the Shell Cup. Now, I decided, instead of stopping in the middle of nowhere, like I did in the last few episodes, I'm gonna start in the middle of nowhere, okay? So I'll just basically start at the track menu, okay? Just to avoid cutting the video short. Now, I want to clear a few things up. The reason this was uploaded so late today is because this was my first day of school back from winter break. And just to clear a few things up, there won't be any new episodes on Wednesdays because I play the drums, and on Wednesdays I have drum lessons, and I usually come back pretty late. I flip the cat quack. So they're going to be posted pretty late from now on, and no new episodes on Wednesdays. I'm just clearing that up. Now, there is one shortcut, as you might have saw back there, and that path I just took around the fountain, it's not really a shortcut, but it's an alternate route. But anyway, the shortcut is when you go on the beach, and well, it's kind of obvious. Instead of taking a right, you have to take a left, and you go up this dash panel ramp, past the tree, and you want to try and stay on the sand. And a little word of advice for this track: if you get on the dark blue part of the water, then Lakiti will have to pull you out of the water and put you back on track. But you're fine as long as you're on the light blue part. Okay. And that path, the shortcut, that's not mushroom required. You just take it. Cheap. Yeah, I think that's gonna be a running joke in this Let's Play from now on. Cheap. Because I was in the air and I got lightninged on. Whoa! That cat just came running up at me and then decided, I'm not interested in you anymore, and then walked away. That is weird. Excuse me if I said that too quickly for you to understand. Anyway, we're all done with that. Well, we're done with the episode, but you know what I mean. Next race. And excuse me for a second, I'm just going to take a sip of my hot chocolate. That's good. Anyway, Yoshi Falls. There aren't any shortcuts that I know of in this track. And this is usually one of my favorite tracks because I'm really good at it. So this should be a snap in 50cc. Now, I'm just going to demonstrate what will happen if you try to get through these waterfalls here. They're not exactly a shortcut because I don't recommend taking them. But if you do that, then you'll risk falling into the middle of the track with the giant egg there, see? Although there are item bosses sometimes. I mean, on the waterfall. Cheap. That'll be my goal for every episode I do. Say cheap, at least once per track. Excuse me, I'm gonna take another sip of cocoa. I wasn't keeping my eyes on the road while I was drinking. Oh, speaking of drinking, on New Year's Eve, we were playing a game, and while we were playing it, I was eating a bunch of pretzels, and I said, these are really salty. So my grandma said to me, so after the game, why don't you go get a beer? And she meant to say root beer. But well, not everyone said beer, but she said beer. And we were all just, ooh! I thought that was a funny moment. Anyway, Cocoa time. Good stuff. Anyway, 30 points. I have to say, today at school, during school, it snowed like crazy. I mean, seriously. We had a green Christmas this year. So I wasn't really expecting much of any snow. But today during school, it was practically a blizzard, even though we only got like 3 inches. Oh, and about this track, there is a shortcut in here. Like do when you're near the wheel of item boxes, instead of taking that route, you have to take a right and go off the ramp. Don't worry if you're afraid you won't make it. You'll make it. I was afraid of that when I took the shortcut. And the cool thing about this track is if you bash into one of the blocks, it falls off the track. And of course, who else to be behind me in Ghost Valley 2 than King Boo? That is ironic. Oh, I thought for sure I was gonna make it. Cocoa time. You know what? Next time I have to drink it, I'll just go, stop. Cocoa time. Cookie for you if you could get that reference. Oh wait, why was I shaking it? It was my old power block. I have to say, this episode is going by really quickly. I don't think I'm going to have to cut it short this time. It's gone quicker than I expected. We're already on the 3rd track. Oh, I just realized I haven't said cheap yet. Cheap! I'm saying it for no reason at all. Stop! Cocoa time! In case you were hearing a lot of slurping, I'm trying to get the whipped cream. Say I got it! Say I got it! Say I got it! Polar Express for the win. Anyway, Mario Raceway N64. I don't know any shortcuts on this track. If you do know any shortcuts in here, comment. Rate, comment, subscribe. You know any YouTuber has to say that once in their lifetime. Oh, and about the numbers of recordings for this episode, technically it's my 3rd, but really it's my 1st. Because in my first recording, I actually forget what happened in the first recording, but in the second recording, every time before I introduce the show, I cut out a part where I just basically test the mic, and I do it from the home menu, and instead of pressing the home button to go back to the game, I accidentally pressed the stop recording button, so that's what happened in the second recording, and this is currently my 3rd recording. So excuse me if I have to cut this short again. I know that in the last episode I had to cut it in the middle of the race when I usually have to cut it in the end of the race. Anyway. Save yourself, Red Shell! Go kill someone for me! I like how when the POW blocks, make their final strike, and then the piranha plants jump. I like how Mario's just saying, go! Blah! Cookie for you if you get that reference too. Oh, I haven't said cheap yet. Well, yeah, I guess I just did say sheep. And I just said it again. Oh, okay. I got a doodly doo. Hit the doodly doo. Yeah, remember that part of Drake and Josh where they go hip hip the doodly doo? If you remember that part, good for you. You have a good memory. Hip hip the doodly doo. Maybe I should bring back a sequel to that show. Well, Dan Schneider already has his hands full on iCarly and Victorious. But enough about Nick. Let's get back to the game. Stop. Cookie time. And the straw fell. Anyway. You trying to hit me with red shield? I hit you back. Even though I don't know who it was. Anyway. We are almost done with this episode. I might have to cut it short, but I don't know. Anyway. That concludes our episode for today. In case I have to cut the video short, in the next episode, we will be taking on the Banana Cup. Banana! See you guys then. But if I don't have to cut the video short, let's continue on. Clase Nambula Ona. Okay. Now here's the real ending. So in case I don't have to cut the video short. In the next episode, we'll be taking on the Banana Cup. See you guys then.